In this video, we are going to discuss JSON in Python. Warm welcome to everyone in today's video. In last 3 videos, we discussed file handling, specifically the text files, how you can read, write, and append the files. And we also seen few exercises and examples programs to solidify our understanding. Today's video is going to be the very important one because JSON is one of the very important concept which used a lot in programming. We are going to discuss that how you can work with JSON files in Python. We are going to divide today's discussion in 5 parts. What is JSON, usage of JSON, and who uses JSON? And then we'll see how we can create a JSON file from Python object, how we can load a JSON file to a Python object, and we also see the create a JSON string from Python object and how you can create a Python object from JSON string. It is going to be a very interesting one. So let's start with the what is JSON, uses of JSON, and who uses JSON. JSON, JavaScript object notation, although it was inspired by subset of JavaScript language, deals with the object literal syntax, but nowadays it's completely independent of JavaScript and very popular, almost supported by all languages like Java, Python, C#, Go, PHP, you name it. It's commonly used to transfer data over the internet. So it's help us to transfer native Python object over the internet. We have a Python application and it's requesting the weather data to a web server over the internet. And what web server is doing, it is sending that weather data as a JSON object to the Python application. Then what Python application will do, it will get those data as a JSON object, JSON format, and it will work with it. Okay, so we are going to learn this today in today's video, how we can work with the JSON data in Python. Now, if you think XML or YML also used for the same purpose, but if you compare XML and JSON, like here, if you see in the right hand side, we have a JSON and the same data we have in the left hand side as a XML. So if you see the JSON here, you will see it is a kind of key value pair, like employee info is the key, employee is the key, value is a name of the employees like James Craig, 40, these are the values, right? So if you just take a step back and try to absorb this particular syntax, you will understand this is almost the same kind of like a Python dictionary object, right? You are correct. JSON looks like a Python dictionary object, but one difference is you need to know that in Python dictionary you can use a single quote, but JSON does not support single quote. For JSON object you need to use the double quotes. Okay, but it's almost same kind of Python dictionary. If you compare to XML, you see kind of markup language. All these keys are as like a markup keys here. So that's why JSON is very lightweight compared to XML. That is one of the reasons it's very popular. It's also frequently used by database and APIs to store and transfer data. It's also used as a config file for different application. It's popular because it's easily read by human as well as machine, both. Now, there are a lot of big names who uses JSON, like YouTube also uses JSON to deliver information about accounts, videos, and searches, etc. It also used by Twitter for interacting with tweets. It's also used by Google Map to deal with the maps data. It's uses by NASA for public data, etc. So you see a lot of different big names are using JSON to transfer data. So that's why it's very important for us to understand how we can work with the JSON data in Python. So we are going to look into first how you can create a JSON file from Python object. I need to have a Python object. So I have a Python object here, this particular dictionary. You see it's a very simple one. We have all the students info in the dictionary. Here students info is one of the key, and then it has a different values in this particular list, and each value is again a dictionary. Like, and that dictionary has different keys like name, age, hobbies, etc. I have 2 students information in this particular dictionary, right? Cool. Now I'm going to create a JSON file from this particular dictionary object. How to do that? So to work with JSON, Python gives us inbuilt JSON module. Okay, we are going to use the inbuilt JSON module in Python to work with this dictionary. can create a JSON file. My objective is to create a JSON file so that we know if we are going to create a file, then what we need to do, we need to open that file with the with keyword. I'm using with keyword because I do not need to close the file explicitly. With will take care of closing the file. That's why it's good practice that you use the with keyword when you're working with file in Python. We already discussed these things in pretty detail in the last 3 videos. So if you didn't watch that, then I request you to watch those videos, and I'm going to give the link of the videos as well as the playlist into the comment section and as the description box. Okay, coming back. So what we are doing is, in the with keyword, I am opening the file. That file is a students.json, and I opening in the mode W. Why I am opening in the mode W? If this particular file does not exist, then it will create the file. And if the file exists, it will rewrite or overwrite, truncate the file. And JW is nothing but my file handler. I'm going to use this file handler to work with this particular file. There is a method called dump. That method actually helped me to create a JSON file from a Python object, here a dictionary. So what dump method does is, I'm executing a dump method with the dot operator from the JSON module. So JSON.dump, what parameters I am passing here? I'm passing 2 parameters. What are those? One is my data, that is my dictionary data. Another, in comma, I am passing the file handler. Now if I run it, you will see the JSON file will be created. Let's run it. See, this particular student.json file is created. Now one thing you notice, that the JSON file is not properly formatted. You are getting difficulties, right, to read this JSON file. So I have a solution for that. So there is another parameter this particular dump method takes, that parameter called indent. So if you mention this indent, let's say equal to 2 or 3, let's give the 2, then it will indent properly. Let's run it once again. Now if you open the JSON file, you see it's properly indented. So student info is one of the key, and then I have a different values of the student, like Atrey, age 15, hobbies, and all those things. Okay, that's it. It's very simple. Hope you understand. If again I'm quickly repeating, so what I am using a JSON module, which is an inbuilt module of Python. And first I am trying to open the file with the open function, and it takes 2 parameters, the file name as well as the mode, how we are opening the file. I am using the W mode, the write mode, which will help me to create a file if the file does not exist, and if file exists, it will truncate or overwrite the file. And JW is nothing but my file handler. So I am executing the dump method. Dump method, JSON dump method, what it does, it actually create a JSON file from the dictionary object. So the 2 parameters it takes, that is the one of the data. Data is my dictionary object. I am passing it, dictionary students, comma is my file handler, which we using to write the this particular dictionary object into the JSON file. That's why I'm using this file handler. And the third parameter I have used, which is basically indented properly. Now my JSON file looks good for this indent equal to 2, this particular line. Okay, so that's it. It's very simple, right? JSON done dump. Remember, this is a dump is the method which you use to create a JSON file from a Python object. So next one is I'm loading a JSON file to a Python object. So I already have a JSON file with me. That is my student info. And if you notice that I made some changes, like I changed the age for Atri 15 to 16, and as well as I've changed the age of Aritrika's 10 to 11. Previously it was like 15 Atri's age, and Aritrika's age was 10. Now I changed to 16 and 11. I am going to load this particular JSON file into as a Python object. How am I going to do it? If I need to load a particular file, I need to read that file. And to read that file, I need to open that file in the read mode. Let's do that. I'm opening this particular file with the with keyword. I'm passing the file location and the file name, students.json. And this is my mode, read mode. If I do not mention the mode also, then by default, it takes the read mode. You know that, right? So anyway, I'm mentioning the mode here, read mode, and JR is nothing but my file handler. So with this file handler, I am opening this particular student.json file in the read mode. I am going to use the load method in the JSON module. What load method does it? It takes the JR as is the file handler as a parameter. It load all the information it has in this JSON file and I'm storing it. So basically load method, what is doing is it taking the JR, that file handler, as a parameter, and it's loading all the information I have into this JSON file, and it's storing into this particular variable stu_json_load. Now, if you see the type of this particular variable and if you execute it, you will see the type of this particular variable is now dictionary. So now it's clear to you, right, that this load method of the JSON module loading this JSON file as a dictionary object in Python. Now, once you have the dictionary object with you, you can do anything, right? Let's print the dictionary object. See, I have the dictionary with me. Here, Athre's age is 16, Aritrikar age is 11. Now, whatever you want to do that, you can do that with this particular dictionary object. For example, you want to print the Athre's information. This one. How will you do it? Very easy. So you just first call with the name of this key. With the key, let's get the value. Now I have the value. Now in the value, my first item is the Athre, right? So I need to get the 0th index of it. Now if you run it, you see I have only the Athre's information with me. It's pretty cool, right? So I have the JSON file with me. I load that file with the load method, and when it loaded as a dictionary object in Python dictionary object. And once I have the Python dictionary object with me, I can work with the dictionary object as my wish. So till now we already looked into two major use cases where you can create a JSON file from a Python object dictionary object, and we also see how you can load a JSON file as a Python object like dictionary object. We already seen that. To create a JSON file, we use the dump method, and to load that we use a load method. Now next use case is how you can create a JSON string from a Python object. But why you need a JSON string? Let me tell you why. Say you have a Python application and you want to send some information from your application to a web services, okay, or some other places. How you'll send it? You will send it via internet as a JSON string. So that if you have a Python dictionary object, you need to convert it to a JSON string. Then only you can send it, right? So how to do that? It's very simple. Till now we already see a dump method which is creating a JSON file. Here the difference is you are using dump s method. Dumps, if you notice there is an extra s is there. What s is nothing but a string. So dump s method, what it does, it takes the Python object as one of the parameter and it creates the JSON string. And indent is my second parameter where it is optional. I am using it so that it looks better indented. So I am printing it, this particular variable, storing this JSON string in this particular variable stu_json_str, and I also saying what's the type of this particular variable. Now if you run it, you see this particular dictionary I have, it's created as a JSON string indent 2, and I am seeing the type of it saying this is a string type class str. Hope it's clear to you. It's pretty easy. My last use case is today how you can create a Python object from a JSON string. We already seen how you can create a Python object from a JSON file using the load method. And now we are going to create a Python object from JSON string. Now in the previous example, we already created a JSON string, right? stu_json_str with a dump s method. I am going to use that particular JSON string to create a Python object. Let's do that. It's pretty simple. Here I am using the load s method. S is nothing but again a string. So what I'm doing, I'm going to execute this load s method in top of the JSON module, json.loads, okay, load s. And what I'm passing, I am passing that particular JSON string here. And I'm storing this into a variable called object JSON loads. That's it. So remember, when you are loading a JSON file as a Python object, then using the load method. When you are loading a JSON string as a Python object, you are using load s method. Now print it. I'm printing the type of this particular variable. Let's run it. You see the type is dictionary. Now if you print the actual object, I'm now printing the dictionary, you will see exact same dictionary I got. Now if once you have the Python object with you as a dictionary, you can do anything. Like let's say here I am getting the Aritrika's information. So I am here the student's info by the keys, and then one is the index, that is second value, second item in the list. I want to get that is Aritrika, right? You see I got the Aritrika's information. So pretty cool, right? Now you understand how you can use this JSON in Python. Okay, we learned a lot in today's video. We first started with what is JSON, usage of JSON, and who uses JSON, and then we have seen how you can create a JSON file from a dictionary object. Once the file is created, we'll make some changes in the file, the student.json, and then we load that file and as a dictionary object, Python object. So these two use cases are very important one. Other most important two use cases we looked into, that is how you can create a JSON string from a Python object. My Python object, again my dictionary. From there we created a JSON string, and then we have seen how you can load the JSON string as a Python object. So all these four scenarios, all the four use cases we looked into. Hope you understand all these four use cases. But if you have any question, any doubt, please feel free to put into the comment section. I will try my best to help you. Hope you liked today's video. If you like it, then please hit the like button and share with others. If you are not member in this community yet, then please subscribe to this channel, as I upload new videos every week and it will help you in your coding journey. See you to the next video. Till then, happy learning, happy coding. Bye.